Gaming Solo. My name is Robert Solo Gamer Friend. This is a gaming solo setup of Arkham Horror the board game, produced by Nikki Valens and published by Fantasy Flight Games. This will be game 13 of the 13 Games to Halloween series. And without any further delay, let's get into the setup. So the first thing you want to do is select the scenario you want to play. And because of the time frame it takes to set up a specific scenario, I went ahead and selected the scenario from the Underdark Waters expansion titled Dreams of Riley. And here's the scenario card. On the back side is the setup details, and that's what you're going to need to set the game up. This will give you probably about 80% solution for setup, and of course the rulebook gets you the rest of the way there. So what you want to do is you want to look at the map, and you want to set the board up just like that map on the scenario. So what I'm going to need to collect is the 4 map tiles titled Southside, Uptown, Rivertown, and Massachusetts University. And then I want to collect the street tiles. Street tiles look just like this. And if you look in the top left corner, you'll have different symbols. You'll have street lights, bridges, trees, and various other symbols specific to the expansion. So you're going to need 3 street light tiles, 1 tree street tile, and then you're going to need 3 additional tiles for the expansion. One with the wheelhouse, what has that the wheel on it for steering a ship. 1 with the railroad crossing symbol, and the last one with the road signs pointing in various directions. And then you set your map board up based upon the description on your scenario sheet. So for this right here, Massachusetts University goes up top, Southside goes right here. Let's see, Rivertown and Uptown go like this. And in between Southside and Uptown, we put the tile with the tree, the street tile with the tree symbol on it. Just like this. And just kind of snap it into place, kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. Then you want to grab the tiles with the street light symbol on them. You want to place 1 in between Southside and Rivertown. Just like this. You got to make sure you hook them up just right based upon the scenario, because there's so many ways you can set them up. Then you want to take another one and put it between Rivertown and the Massachusetts University. And you want to take the final one and put it between the Massachusetts University and Uptown. Doesn't matter which direction the tiles are facing, as long as they're fitted inside their thing. Sometimes they don't want to fit it, so flip them around and try it again. They can be a pain in the butt sometimes to put together, so you just got to be careful, don't ruin your board setting it up. And we'll set this up just like this right here. And see, that should still be in the screen. Then you want to take the tile with the multiple street sign directions and put that right here. The next tile with the railroad crossing symbol, and it looks like it has a railroad station there. You want to place that right here. And you want to take the next tile that has the ship steering wheel on it, and you want to place that in this location right here. And we're going to stop right here. There's still more to the board we need to set up, but let's get everything else on the board first before we start digging through extra things. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to look at your scenario sheet again. And you want to take out everything listed on the left side of the scenario sheet for setup. So we'll go start with the monster deck first. And like I said, I've already pulled everything out just to speed up setup. So some decks come with this, some don't. Some board games come with this little case to hold your monster cards. So I'm going to set this case right here. And what you want to do is you want to take out 1 High Priest, 2 Occult Ritualists, a Sea Singer, a Shoreline Brute, 2 Shallows Predator. Then you want to take out every card titled Dreaming or Star Spawn. So I have 6 Dreaming Humans, 1 Dreaming Deep one, and 2 Star Spawns. You want to shuffle those up really good. And make sure you shuffle them, the picture is on the front with just the flavor text, not the backside. The backside tells you it strengthens abilities. You don't want to see that. I mean, you do want to see it, but you're not supposed to see it before the game starts. So give these a good shuffle. Make sure they're mixed up really good. And then you want to place them inside your monster container or down on the table so that you only see this part of the card. So this will go just like this right here. And anytime you draw monsters, you'll be drawing from the back of the deck so you don't know what you're drawing. Next, you want to grab your Mythos tokens. There are various styles and looks to them, but they all are the circle tokens Looks similar to this. Like I said, there's multiple type. Mine are slightly different because I put mine in coin protectors because this is a game that I played so much that the tokens started rubbing a little bit and the ink started coming off, so I had to put them in protectors. And you'll understand when you see the playthrough if you haven't played this before. But you want to dump that bag of Mythos tokens out. And what you want to do is you want to collect the following tokens for this scenario. And I said every scenario is different. If you're playing this scenario with me, then of course set up right with me. If you're playing a different one, then just see how basic setup is and go from there. But you want to get 3 Spawn Doom tokens, 2 Spawn Monster tokens, 2 Read Headline tokens, 2 Spawn Clue tokens, 1 Gate Burst token, 1 Reckoning token, and 1 blank token. And once you have those tokens, find something you can put them in, a cup, a bag, whatever it is you have that makes it hard to see to grab it out because you're supposed to be a blind grab. I have this great dice bag, so I'm putting them all in this dice bag together, and that's where I'll be drawing my tokens after every round. And then I'm just going to set this someplace off to the side so it's out of the way for now. Next, you want to go through the deck of cards that look like this. Have the number in the top left corner on each side. The backs are various backs, but these cards are part of the codex. And what you want to do is you want to draw the cards out for that codex. And depending on how many expansions you have, or if you just have the original expansion, they're all going to be different. I have 165 to go through, so it's important to keep them in numerical order. But the cards I'm taking out of my deck are cards number 1, number 6 with 17, 18, 19, and 20. You want to put 6 on top of 17 through 20. And card number 7. This is what you're called forming the codex. So when they talk about put your codex together, that's the codex right there. That could be a little confusing sometimes when they talk about the codex, like what are they talking about? It's these cards right here. And you want to set them to the side because these are your scenario driven cards right here. And I will read each of these cards during the playthrough so I can tell you what the purpose of these are. Because when you finish a card, some are burned, some are kept in play, and some are just, once they're done, they're done. And this is the Codex Investigation deck, whatever you call it, but it's commonly called the Codex. Next, you want to grab the cards associated with the 5 locations you have. When I say 5 locations, you have the 4 town maps and then the street maps, or the street tiles. These are all locations. You want to grab the cards associated with them. So you want to grab the Massachusetts University cards, 1 through 8, Rivertown, Southside, Uptown, and the street cards, all 1 through 8. Plus, if you have an expansion, add those 2 expansions to it. And you just want to lay them out. And this is what they look like. You have the streets, Southside, Uptown. If you flip them over, you'll see 1 of 2, 2 of 2 for the expansion. Then you see 4 of 8, 5 of 8, all those. You want to lay them out, shuffle them up, and lay them out by their card type. And give them a good shuffle though before you do that. And I'm going to skip ahead as I do this. Once that's complete, you want to grab your special cards with the orange back. Your condition cards with various symbols, but they'll say the word condition on them, so anywhere on there, usually underneath the title. Your purple spell cards. Your blue ally cards. And your green item cards. And with your green item cards, you want to deal 5 of them face up. So we'll go ahead and take 5 out. 3, 4, 5. I'll set that down right there for a second. And we'll deal these face up. These are the items you're going to be able to purchase whenever you stop in a space with the general store. The general store is the only space that you can actually purchase these items from outside of a special card that tells you can do that otherwise. Place the rest of the stack right here because you will replace cards as they're purchased. And for this map, the general store is right here. Go ahead and grab your anomaly tokens and place them someplace. I'm going to place them right here in the middle. It's space that's not being used, so I'm going to use it for something. Your dice, go ahead and place all 6 right there in the middle too until you're using them. And your helper card here just kind of lets you know how the process flows. Put that someplace to the side. And next, you want to grab the scenario specific deck of cards. They're going to be different backs, as you can tell. But what you're looking for is in the bottom of the card. Well, maybe if I hold it right for you. The bottom of the card, it tells you the title of the scenario. And those are the cards that you play with. It gives you the scenario title, which is the Dreams of Ryla. And it tells you how many cards are supposed to be in the deck. And once you get them, mix them up real good. You don't want to keep them in numerical order. You want these mixed up. The only thing should be left in numerical order are the cards that belong to the codexes. And once they're shuffled up, your game came with this. This is designed to hold those cards. You place them in the deck so that the tops are up like that. And you place that right here, anywhere you want to place mine next to the monster deck. Next you want to grab the headline deck. And with the headline deck, you want to shuffle them up and deal 13 to yourself, keeping them face down. And when you're doing this, make sure you don't accidentally mix any other expansions in here with it, if you have various expansions. I do keep them all together, so you have to go through and separate them out. I will keep the expansion from I'm playing in there along with the original deck, because actually you need 13. So it just gives you opportunity to mix some of that expansion into it. You may or may not get it. It all depends on what you do to yourself. So deal out 13. Put the rest back in the box. You will no longer need them for this playthrough. And then take those and place them someplace within easy reach. I'm going to place mine right here. Next you want to grab your Doom tokens. Doom or Clue. They're both one on each side. Sanity. Health. Money. Remnant. Various focus tokens. And I have separate the tokens that are values of 3 or higher. Just separate from the other ones. Grab those. And place them someplace within easy reach for you. I'm going to place mine right there. Now you want to grab your character sheets. I'm only going to use the characters from this expansion just to make it more interesting. But you can use any character you want on any expansion. It doesn't matter. And you're going to pick the 2 that you want to do, or 1, however you want to use. I'm going to use 2 characters. So I'm going to make it an easy pick for me the way I always do. Lay them out, roll a D. Since I have 8 characters, roll a D8 and let the dice decide for me. So I'm going to lay these out in order. So it's 1 through 6, 7, and 8. Let's see, make sure I don't mess that up. So I'll roll the first one. First character I'm going to get is number 6, which is Carson Sinclair. He's a butler. Now roll again. Number 4, which is, why did I get the old guys? Charlie Kane, the politician. This is going to be interesting. I got a butler and a politician fighting. I was hoping to get the sailor, but it is what it is. Put the rest cards back in the deck. You can use them later, because if your character dies, you can pull new cards out and keep playing. But the way I'm going to play it, if my character dies, that's it. He's out of the action, and I keep going until both are dead or I defeat the game. So it's there's no calling in reinforcements for my scenario. At least the one I'm playing, the version that I'm playing. And then you want to look at the back of the cards, and on the back in the bottom corner right there, you have their flavor text all about the person. But in the corner there, underneath the picture, it tells you all the items you're going to need to draw out. So, for the politician, which is Kane, he gets $2. So I'll grab $2. He gets his starting cards. Every character has 3 starting cards. And in the back of those 3 starting cards, you'll see their image. So just go through the deck of starting cards and drag all 3 out for both characters. Put the rest away. And for him, he gets, his starting card is the Voice of Authority, which is this right here. And he gets to choose between Bonnie Walsh and calling in favors. And if he keeps Bonnie Walsh, she's a faithful assistant ally. Once per round before you resolve a test, you may focus 1 skill of your choice. Focus is really good to have. Or calling in favors, which is a talent. At the start of your turn, discard all money from this card and test your influence, which is the handshake. For each successful roll, place $1 on this card. You may spend money from this card. I think we'll stick with Bonnie Walsh. The favorites thing, I guess it can give you a little bit of money, but I don't know. And that's his card for setup. And you just kind of put it someplace best for you. I think I'll put him right there. And I'll put both of his cards underneath his deck. Now if the card has a hand symbol, you can only carry up to 2 hands worth of cards. So if one card has 2 hands on it, that's the only card you can equip. But the rest, these are just like abilities or personal skills they have. Like calling in favors, it's a personal skill he has from being a politician. And I'll put his money right here. Also, on the card, when you look at it, it shows you on the other side their health, their sanity, and all of the value of each of their influences they have, their strength, influence, and so forth. That helps you decide what you're going to do when you roll a die. It tells you how many dice you can roll pretty much. And so for this gentleman, he gets 4 health, which I'll put on top of him right here. But he gets 8 sanity, so he's really intelligent, but he's pretty weak. There's his 8 sanity. I could probably put 3 sanity markers out, but it is what it is. We'll start like that. And now for the butler, which is Sinclair, he gets 2 coin, says starting. And his cards, he gets Anticipation, and he gets to choose between As You Wish or Prepare for Anything. As You Wish, once per round after another investigator in any space performs an action, you may spend one focus to perform the same action. Or once per round, when an investigator in any space suffers any amount of damage or horror, you may discard one focus token to prevent that damage or horror. I think I'm going to go ahead and do the Prepare for Anything one, because I can mitigate horror damage or stuff like that. And so we'll put him here, and he has his $2, and of course he has his 2 cards, and he has a health of 6 and a stamina of 6, or sanity of 6. So I'll put out 6 of each. And the goal is to keep either one from getting to 0. If one of those get to 0, they're out of the game. So you got to keep them above 0 for either one, not both, one or the other. Now that you have your characters, you want to search through your standee characters until you find the ones that look like the ones you're playing with. And you can either put them in their stands, but because I'm playing a playthrough from a top view, I'm just going to lay them down. And they will have a starting location, but we'll find out that once we finish the board setup. So I'll put them right there for now. Now we're going to go back to the board setup. Once again, you want to look at the board, and the symbols on each of those maps tell you what to place there. So what I have to do is, gotta rotate so I can read it, I have to place a Doom token on each of the maps, the city maps, with a specific location. So the first Doom token goes on the Orange Library. The next Doom token goes into the Black Cave, and make sure you put the Doom token side up. The third Doom token goes into the Historic Society, and the fourth Doom token will go on Hangman's Hill. And now I have to put 2 monsters on the board. So I'll grab my monster deck. And the first monster it wants me to put out is the Accursed Somnambulist, which is this right here. And we place the monster on the board, make sure it's still this side up. We want the flavor text, not the side that shows you everything else. And this beast will go on the graveyard. The next monster that goes out, there's only 2 monsters, is the Enraged Dreamer, which is this one right here. And that goes in the Yield Magic Shop space. And when you play the monsters down, you don't put them in standees. You just lay them down. And since if you've gone through the cards, shuffle your monster cards up one more time. Since you went through them, you kind of know what they look like if you know it well enough. And then put it back in the monster deck. That completes the setup of the board. Turn your card over, and you get the final last little details. You'll have the story so far, what to do when you draw a Reckoning token, and where your investigators start at. My investigators will both start at St. Mary's Hospital. So I'm going to put my card right here and leave it right there. And we're going to move both these gentlemen to St. Mary's Hospital, which is right here. So I'm going to leave them face down. I'm going to lay it on the flat so you can see where they are at all times. And that concludes the setup for Arkham Horror, the board game. Dreams of Rula, whatever his name is. Gotta give it to H.P. Lovecraft. He can create some crazy names sometimes. But I'll see you guys tomorrow at the playthrough on Game 13 of the 13 Games to Halloween. And thank you for joining me for the setup. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and have a great day.